Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you guys today how you can use QuickBooks to upload receipts. For these people that couldn't join the meeting that I hosted last week, tried to record it then, didn't work out, so I am here by myself trying this again. I will, share this with the people that are interested. Again, just a little explanation. HubDoc is, we will be phasing it out. We'll pick and choose a little bit one at a time, or to see how comfortable you are with these new features in QuickBooks before we actually really shut it down. Why now? QuickBooks has updated their features in the receipt module, and it's finally doing what we wanted to do, and therefore we're quite excited because one less app that we need to use in our workflow is, I think, a step forward. So let's move into QuickBooks, and I'll share the screen there. So this has been a test environment that we can use to see how the workflow is. On my other screen, I'll pull up a receipt real quick so we can see how it uploads. So yeah, we are all familiar with the dashboard in QuickBooks. So we'll go to the banking menu option and then receipts. So there's a few ways to add receipts into QuickBooks now. You can drag and drop, and that's what I'll show first. So I have a receipt that I had saved to my computer, and I'll just drop it in here, and it's uploading now. So it will go in the upload feature. It's funny that I don't see that right now. Let's try a different file. Let's see. Here we go. So now under review, we have a tab that says processing. So it's pulling the data. QuickBooks is quite a bit quicker than HubDoc. HubDoc sometimes takes a couple hours. Sometimes it's really quick, it's instant, but sometimes it takes a little longer. So here we have to wait 15 minutes. So we aren't gonna worry about that for now, because as you can see, I have a couple examples we can work with. So that's one option, drag and drop. Second option, receipts at QuickBooks. So you can hook up or link your email. In order to do that, you'll have to have a user with that email address. So if you have multiple email addresses that you want to be able to send receipts from, you'll have to create a QuickBooks user for each email address, so it recognizes each individually. If you have multiple QuickBooks but one email address, let's talk about that one-on-one, because then we need to find a little bit of a different solution. Other options, Snap on mobile, download the QuickBooks app, use the same login that you use when you're using QuickBooks on your computer, and it will just connect same way as HubDoc app on your phone. And that's the one that is being processed here. So once we have the receipt in QuickBooks, we can process it further. So this basically is the same idea of the review tab in HubDoc. I'm not sure everybody that will be watching this video is a current HubDoc user. So sorry about that if some of my references don't always make sense. But yeah, review tab, action to be taken. So if for example you have multiple receipts, you can delete them here. Don't be afraid for double uploading receipts, because QuickBooks will recognize them and you won't be able to do that. Review, new window opens up. And this is one of the features that we were waiting for before we actually move things over, the receipt type. So receipt and bill, two different type of documents. The receipt are entries that are already paid. A bill is something that still needs to be paid. Both those features, they're quite different, and it's important to make the difference, because if you record a bill as a receipt, you cannot process a payment through QuickBooks. So I'm gonna walk through both options. So if I record this as a receipt, I need to enter a vendor. So I'm just gonna go and so the more receipts you have in, the more suppliers it will recognize. So you don't always have to create a new one or assign it to bank account. So depending if it's paid directly out of your bank, so for example an e-transfer or EFT, like if you use your debit card, you use bank. Credit card, obviously you use the credit card. Let me find it. So this is just very simple chart of account. Date is entered automatically. Category, that's the expense account that you want to have it in. It actually defaults to the right one, it's the first one. But if I, for example, want it going anywhere else, I can just start typing and it will recognize the description. This is a little bit something to be aware of. The description is actually the line or the memo that will show up in the financial report. So if you want to, this is important to actually put some more descriptive notes in. So when we're reviewing, we don't just see like Alora May or GoLab Market, like GoLab Marketing would be probably a good description, but let's say marketing efforts, April, marketing efforts, I would say marketing fees, then the amount, taxes, fill it out, select it. Again, the more you have transactions in there, it will know what to do with it. So this is done, and then we can say save and next. And it will actually record this as like, well, right, not quite yet, but when we create the expense, it moves it out of the review tab into the reviewed tab. And then it is actually booked in the financials. So it still says processing. So we have a couple, I think because I tried it twice and it picked it up. So I'm going to go into this one. It does say, you see, like here you go, see a duplicate because I already put one in during last demo session. So let's see what this one is about. So yeah, here's the instructions. So it has no idea what to do with this, but I can still use it as an example. I'll just make it up. So if we do this as a bill, Day2Day Books, add as a new, select date, today, due date, today, to keep things simple. Accounts receivable, we'll move that. Let's see if we have a bookkeeping fee account. Here we go. Description, so change that to monthly bookkeeping fee, and then the amount, make something up and add just GST. And here we go. The additional fields, oh, that's the reference number. So that would be the invoice number. So I'm just going to put this in. Save and next, and create bill. It's pretty funny that it still recognizes it, even though it has no financial information on that document. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to the expense menu option here, and as you can see, here is that invoice that I just created. If I go to my suppliers and I go open bills, I can see the one to Day2Day Books, and now I can make my payment. So here we go. And then you can write a check from there or record payment at a different date than the invoice date. So that's pretty much it. And we'll let's go back into this option. So you can always go back and find the expense that is actually booked. Oh, I wanted to show you on the bill actually. If we go into the actual invoice, just like same with the HubDoc, not really anything new, but the PDF is attached to the transaction, so you always have the original document handy. In banking, so I think it's pretty self-explanatory once you're in here. As I mentioned, like we have the document with the instructions and now this video, so hopefully that will help help you go through the steps how to submit receipts. And I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to the next one and share some more good handy tips and tricks in QuickBooks. See you guys soon.